It hurts in there right now. It hurts. 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 It hurts.
Man, I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? What's going on? Y'all all right?
Good, man. Everything good, man.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
Everything good. Nick, did you watch your film?
Oh yeah.
You watch your film. You watch your film.
I rewatched the whole thing, and everything I said was right.
What?
Yeah.
Everything, Nick.
Yeah. He threw the ball too high to Jay Fair on the slant. Jay Fair did not duck his head. The ball touched his fingertips. The ball touched his fingertips.
Hold on. Jay Fair didn't duck his head.
No, he didn't. Go back and look at the film.
Jay Fair. Jay Fair.
I sent it to you, right?
I did.
And that man did not duck his head. But okay. I mean, I guess my eyes was messed up. I'm just telling you.
You saying Jay Fair didn't duck his head?
No, when he jumped up, he ducked his head. And the ball touched his fingertips, actually. It didn't even touch his hands. It touched his fingertips. Okay. So, yeah.
And Brock Bowers caught 3 one-hand catches on Huff.
Yeah, that's fine. Brock Bowers is different. And we made and we came up and we said yesterday that Jay Fair that we don't have a number one receiver like Brock Bowers. So you can't come at me with that argument, sir. come with something different, sir. Come with something different.
So Nick, you still you saying everything you saw in real action when you replayed it, it was the same. Everything.
Yeah, Nick Marta had to step on old dude on the sideline. Shouldn't do that one though. Jay Fair. Jay Fair, the ball was thrown over Jay Fair head. He jumped. He touched his fingertips. He couldn't get both hands on it. Came down, and the ball was thrown over his head on that interception. That's what I saw. Now, if y'all saw something different, that's y'all. But I know what I saw. But
okay. Well, let me ask you this, Nick. Let me ask you this. Did you watch the last 2 drives?
I did watch the last 2
okay. Do you think? And I'm gonna ask Marcus the same question. Do you think that was called correctly?
The last 2 drives?
Yeah. The last 2 drives with the whole thing, and I'm gonna catch everybody up because I think that the way we play defense against Brock Bowers, I'm not saying the defense as a whole. I think I would give the defense an A. You know what I'm saying? For just their effort and how they played. But I'm just saying the last 2 drives, how they played the last 2 drives, whether it's calling, whether it's assignment, do you feel that was handled correctly, specifically covering Brock Bowers because he turned it out? So
yeah, I thought it was called pretty, pretty correctly. I think they had the wrong person on him. Donovan Kaufman was the one covering him majority of the time. Like I said, Keontae Scott, if he was playing, he would have been the dude covering Brock Bowers. I mean, size matters, man. Matchups matter. That's a bad matchup. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad matchup. That's how you gotta know your personnel. You got a 6'4", 235-pound dude going up against a 5'10", 5'11" safety who's 200 pounds. I mean, that's unfair. And then on the touchdown drive, they were playing. I think Hugh Freeze said this, and I actually went back and saw it. And that's actually what they played. They played a bracket coverage because you saw both of your linebackers. Basically, what it is both of your linebackers basically turn their backs to the inside of the field, and they basically keep everything to the outside, to the boundaries. And so Brock Bowers came down the middle. They passed him off to the safety, which Zion Pluckett should have been in the middle of the field, but he wasn't.
Yep.
Zion Pluckett was off to the boundary, and he was just wide open in the middle of the field. And if Zion Pluckett was 2 steps over to the middle of the field, that wouldn't have been a touchdown.
Nope.
It's literally an interception. It would have been. It wouldn't have been an interception, but he wouldn't have scored. I don't think he would have been an interception. He wouldn't have scored though. But yeah, that's all it was. They played. I thought they played pretty decent coverage. They was trying to keep everything. Because watching the game, they was trying to keep the short pass from going long. They're trying to keep the short pass, trying to stop Carson Beck from throwing the short pass and then turning it into like a 20-yard game. But what they forgot to do was cover the middle of the field. And that's exactly what he attacked at. Because even if you go back and look, Brock Bowers wasn't running real routes. He was just running to a spot of the field that was open. That's all he was doing. He was running to a spot of the field was open, turning around and looking for the ball. He wasn't running. He really wasn't running like a real dig route or a real square in or a real out route.
You taught to do that though, Nick. When as a receiver, you taught to find open holes.
That's what they
keep going on man coverage. So
exactly.
He did what he supposed to do.
They were playing man coverage most of the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Stuff like that. But yeah, really on that last touchdown drive, it literally Nixon and Asante. You watch that. They turn their back to the inside of the field at the line of scrimmage, about 3-4 yards off the line of scrimmage. Kept everything to the outside, but when they passed Brock Bowers off to the middle, Zion Puckett wasn't there in the middle of the field, and it just left it wide open. He just left a nice lane to the end zone, and then the only person you had behind him that was running was Jalen Simpson, but Simpson was hurt. He had hurt his right leg, I believe, before that, like early in the fourth quarter. Look, man, when I tell you I went back and I dissected this, I have all of my notes from the first quarter, all the way to the fourth quarter. I watched it. I watched it, sir.
We had Hugh Freeze done wrote a lot of notes before we played Texas A&M too, but that don't, you know what I'm saying, don't mean them notes be right. No, I got to dig at you, bro. Come on, Mark. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about that last drive, because I'm about to read y'all Hugh Freeze comments on that last drive if I can find it. But go ahead, Mark.
Well, with the last drive, I
ain't gonna say the last drive, but the defense itself. Go ahead, Mark.
I completely agree with Nick. Like, so the drive before the last, Huff was in man coverage. Brock Bowers made an incredible one-hand catch back behind him. That was incredible. It was great defense, but like you said, he's undersized. A bigger defender, he would have had to fight off more, probably creating a lot of more contest for that catch, even though that still was a wonderful one-hand catch. But on that last drive, you can tell that it was a blown assignment, because as a linebacker, you're supposed to ride the receiver through the zone and pass him off.
Exactly.
It was nobody else to pass him off to.
They did. Zion Puckett went there,
and it was wide open. So I seen the same thing that Nick seen on that last drive. It was a blown coverage.
But and it goes back to my point I was making on y'all show, man. I don't think they should have, and this is, I don't think they should have been running a zone pass off with Brock Bowers, man. Meaning, I think they should have been doing, man, is playing, and they did a lot, play man to man, but man, it was so far, they were playing man off, it was so far back. It was like, bro, by the time he got to him, he had a full head of steam. And when he broke his route, bro, he running whatever he run, 4.5, he running a 4.5 and break, bro, and you standing still. You know what I'm saying? Put somebody, you know, closer to the line. That's what Auburn has been known for with Kevin Steele, man, is playing up close press coverage. Yeah, and it seems like with these new defense coordinators we've got, they've kind of abandoned that philosophy.
Yeah, because because the whole thing, they don't want to give up the big play.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it, but then it's just like, it's you getting, what do they call it? Killed by 1,000 razor blade cuts. You know what I'm saying? I would say, I'm not saying necessarily just running man with nobody else on him. I'm saying man shade him over the top, or at least man and bump him and slow him down. Because that dude, he's so athletic. Yeah, he's so athletic, man, and big and strong. When he get going, bro, you're not about to slow him down. So you got to slow him down before he get going, disrupt him, and put pressure on the quarterback, which they didn't do. They just rushed forward, didn't get pressure, set back, and let dude get a full head of steam and run to an open spot and just, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing creative to slow him down.
But that's the thing, though. When you can't get pressure with your front four, you have to be able to do what they call a coverage sack. So if you can rush four, if you rush in four, you automatically drop in 7 in coverage.
Sure.
But I mean, if you drop in 7 in coverage, it's going to take a lot longer for the quarterback to find somebody to throw the ball to, because at that time he probably only got 4 or 5 guys going out for a pass at that time. So that means you got 2 extra defenders per se on 5 receivers,
right?
And things of that nature. So, and we don't have a good pass rush with the front four. We don't. Now, when it comes to run defense, I mean, they can hold their own and they can play on one side. They can play 1 yard on the other side of the line of scrimmage majority of the time. But when it comes to pass rush, we just don't have that person. Like like a Nick Fairley or like a Echo Leota, like from last year, or somebody like that. We don't have nothing like that. Yeah, D4, somebody. We don't have a guy that's just like that dynamic that can just bull rush or get around the corner quick enough and get to and take the shortest route to the quarterback to get a sack. Now we have guys who can almost get there, but almost is not good. Because you can still make a play. But yeah, I mean, in that particular situation, I agree with everything that they did on that, because you're not getting a pass rush with 4 people with the defensive line we have now. You're gonna have to either bring another linebacker or bring a corner off the blitz. I mean, off the end to get more pressure, to manufacture some type of pressure. So
yeah, what happened to all the simulated pressure with the Ron Roberts simulated pressure and all these design blitzes where he confused the quarterback? What happened to that on them last 2 drives?
He sent the blitz with Asante, like the drive before the last that we were talking about with Huff making that one-hand catch. He sent Asante on that blitz. The center picked it up perfect. The offensive line picked that up perfect. I got to get on their hands on that. But also going like what you were talking about with that close coverage, we tried that earlier and we got skinned on the wheel route, and I felt like that's what made them kind of nervous about going back to walking a person down, because if you walk a person down on Brock Bowers, all you got to really do is let number 84, I don't want to get his name wrong, let them guys, McConkey run slant routes and have Brock Bowers hesitate and run another wheel route.
I know what you're talking about on that play though. That seemed like a bust to me on that play. Maybe I'm looking at it. I looked at it wrong. It seemed like a bust because when he came around, it's like they came up, bro. But it's like they picked the wrong man. Well, it's like they covered the wrong man or something. Let me say this: not that they covered the wrong man. Somebody didn't pick up. Nobody picked up Brock Bowers of all the people in that route. Well, you see what I'm saying? Nobody picked them up.
What they were supposed to do in that situation was the outside cornerback was supposed to sit at home and pass this right off to the linebacker. Right. But it's kind of difficult when you're sending a blitz.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that safety is gonna get caught up in that trash, regardless of how that's gonna happen.
Exactly. Very true.
Right, but still, and I agree with that. And I agree, but I'm just saying, bro, of all the people though, bro, it was like we keying on a certain player, bro, but it's just like of all the people in the route and in the play, we don't even execute covering the person we are. The play was designed to cover. If that makes sense.
I agree. In the last drive, we look horrible. But I would say I don't think it was a bad defensive call. I just think it was just a blown coverage.
That's all. Okay. That's all. It was just blown coverage. But the thing is, when you got us, I don't want to call him a generational type player because he might be.
He is. He's been doing this since his freshman year.
He is.
Okay, we'll say that. I mean, but when you have somebody that good, bro, like that you know for sure is gonna be playing on Sundays, you got to just do your best. You have to just do your best against them. That's really all.
Live with the results.
You know what I'm saying? Just live with what happened. You just got to do your best.
Yeah. Listen, man, go back and listen to the press conference. Hugh Freeze felt like, of course, when you talk about bracketing, he was like it wasn't executed correctly.
No,
he said the coverage just wasn't executed correctly. He was like they could have called it better. He just put dude out there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, no, man,
what you doing, dog? We could have called
that. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how he put him out there, man. He put him out. He put him out, like, bro.
But my thing is though, on that particular play though, if Puckett was 2 steps to his left,
okay,
if he was 2 steps to his left, that would not have been a touchdown. I mean, you probably would have had. You could have lived with that result, and they would have been like on Auburn's 17 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah,
you could have lived with that result and played and see what happened. But,
and this Hugh Freeze saying, man, he said obviously, we could have had better coverage calls when it came to Brock Bowers.
It wasn't him every time, but it was him a large majority of the time when the game was on the line, and. It was hard to get pressure on him with just 4, and he made the plays, and we obviously probably could have done some different coverages, but felt like we had 2 good ones called on that last drive, and we didn't execute them very well.
Well, if he gonna bring up that, if he free gonna bring up that, let's talk about effort after he caught the pass. Let's talk about how everybody was arm tackling after he caught the pass.
All that, all that.
But I will say this. In the first three quarters of the game, I mean, everywhere Brock Bowers went, 2 people was on him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So why wait to the last? That's my problem. That's why I say I think the defense played well. I think Ron Roberts called a great game. It was just the last 2 drives. Why stop what you were doing in the first 3 quarters or first 3.5 quarters on the last 2 drives and do something different?
Because
that's what kind of it blows my mind, and I think it's because defense coordinators, offense coordinators are human, and I think they get tense, and I think they start calling out of their emotions and stuff like that, and start trying to be safe. Man, call it how. If you saying the first few quarters, man, we had 2 people covering him all the time. Why would you stop doing that?
Because
that's my question.
Because I believe Lad McConkey was open. He was going to be open a lot.
Yep.
Okay, well, I agree. Okay, this is my thing, and I said this before the game. Let Lad McConkey beat me. I'm not gonna let 19 beat me, man. I'm not gonna let 19 beat me. I'll let Lad McConkey beat me. I'll let Kirby Smart suit up and put on a uniform and come out there and beat me. I'm not letting 19 beat me, man. I'm not letting them do it, man.
DC, I agree 100% with that. But
I guess I told y'all on y'all's show when we talked on the Water Cooler Talk podcast yesterday, and I was in my emotion. I'm in there now, but it like Jordan say, man, he was like, bro, I'm not letting nobody score 100 on me. He was like, bro, I'll foul out first.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, everybody better have a personal foul and everybody better be kicked out of the game before we let 19 beat us. That's how I'm coaching it, bro. Everybody on the team better have a personal foul, man. You know what I'm saying? We better personal foul me to the end zone with 15-yard whatever penalties before I let 19 just come through and destroy me like that, man. Dude, you know what I'm saying? That right. Maybe I'm old school like that, but I'm just not letting that dude beat me. Man, I need all y'all cats to, everybody on defense have a personal foul. Man.
I agree. I hear.
Man, we hitting after the play. We doing it all, man. We holding. We got 3 people around them like a pack of lions bringing a giraffe down. Yeah, bro, we ain't doing that, man. We not letting this dude beat us, man.
We going Bonnie Gate.
Coach.
Gonna be like Odell Beckham after the game when LSU won that championship. Just giving people money on the field.
Exactly. I'm getting out money, bro. I'm getting suspended. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it all. I'm doing it all, man.
Hey, DC,
I'm not letting 19 beat me, man. I can't do. I'm coming out the press box, bro. I'm coming out the press. They look up like, look back at me like I done came out. What y'all doing? I done came out the press box, man. Putting on shoulder pads. I'm doing like your boy with the Jets. What that the Jets when you?
Oh, he's talking about Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
When your boy tripped your ball.
I got a question for y'all though.
What's up?
Real quick question. Like, but at a certain point, when y'all just amazed at how he was catching on one-handed catches, amazing. I was just like, bro, like, oh my, because the coverage was there. He was still just
amazing, man. But I go with
that slant like this.
Yeah, amazing.
I was like,
he's amazing. I can't take anything from him, man. He's a first round, should be the first tight end taken. You know what I'm saying, bruh?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Brock Bowers should win the Heisman this year.
I can go with you on that because he is the bruh. If you look at that game, if you look at that game on the most important parts of that game,
exactly.
That dude, the quarterback wasn't even looking at nobody else, bro. He was just looking at Bowers.
Exactly. Staring him down.
Just forcing it.
Yeah, he amazing, man. It's just frustrating, man. You know what I'm saying? And that, y'all don't take me literally, all that.
But I got a feeling he's not gonna. I got a feeling he's not gonna win because we had this conversation on the Water Cooler Talk podcast that the Heisman Trophy has become a quarterback award. So I hope that changes. I hope it actually goes to who's the best player on the best team.
I was just going to say that, Nick. I was just going to say that. I agree.
Who's the best player on you can even say competitive team. Who's the best player on the team that's making that team competitive? And I believe right now that's Brock Bowers.
It's Brock Bowers, bro. Hands down.
Hands down.
Georgia don't win that game without him on the field, bro.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
Georgia is not a championship team without him, man.
Yeah, I was reading on Facebook, and somebody put on Facebook, they was like, "This the number one team in the country." They was like, "This the number one team."
Arguably, that's for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and hands down, bro.
Arguably, without him, they wouldn't be a national championship team for the last 2 years.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. If I'm the coach, man,
okay, all right, I can't
I'm
go
bumping Brock Bowers at the line, knocking him off his route. I'm trying everything, bro. Nick, you looking at me like I said it's gonna work. I didn't say it's gonna work. I never said it was gonna be successful. I never said that. I said what I would do. Never said it was gonna work and be successful. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying the effort behind. I'm not playing coverage off, 10 yards, waiting for him to come down and break inside. Bro, you standing flat, you standing still, man. How you gonna move on a man doing a in route or a post route or run into a hole and he running full speed, man? Man, put Nehemiah Pritchard on the line, let him bump him, do something other than what we were doing. That's my man, he freeze. But I digress. Let me ask you a question. What would you do different? What would you do different in this game, man, that you could say, if I did this, we would win the game?
Going back to last night, like Nick said, I had to rewatch the game. And I stand by what I said last night. Offensive play call, like taking the field goal, like y'all said, when you're supposed to. Me, myself personally, I would have featured Robert Ashford more because after Peyton Thorne stalled out, he really wasn't useful anymore. Like to me, like Robert Ashford was better in the red zone. When we got past day 50, Robert Ashford was a bigger threat. I feel like they were more conscious of him running the ball than Petit. How I say his name?
I think it's Petit.
Yeah. So they were more conscious of him running the ball than Petit. So it kind of opened up the running lane for Petit. So it just, to me, that's what I would have did, because like Nick highlighted last night, after Peyton Thorne couldn't complete those passes, it was no more use for him for real, because Robert Ashford can do what he was essentially doing, and he's faster. So to me, the plays would have been bigger. So that's just how I feel. Taking the field goal, taking the points when you need to, and just going with the chemistry, seeing the chemistry and going with the chemistry.
Yeah. Like I mentioned on the pregame show that we did yesterday. I said every time Auburn gets in, their Georgia territory, I mean, you gotta take the points. And in the second quarter, I think it's the second quarter, they didn't convert on a 4th and 1. Bad snap that was like way over old buddy head. They on the 12 yard line, and you don't take the points. That would have gave you a 13-10 lead going into halftime. Then third quarter, Peyton Thorne comes out and you're on your own 30 and you take a 12-yard sack, 13-yard sack, and push you back on, your own 43, 44-yard line. And that kind of puts you out of field goal range at that point in time. So yeah, take the points, and that was a third down play too. Like all you have to do is just throw the ball away, don't take the sack, man. And you can still get 3 points. That's 6 points to me that's off the board. In my personal opinion, that changes that makes the game, a lot more interesting in that time period. If where Auburn was on that last drive, if I'm not mistaken, I think they was like on the 38-yard line or 37-yard line, and that's in field goal range for McPherson, and they was like almost dead center in the middle of the field. It would have been like a 47, 50-yard field goal, or something like that. But I put it on quarterback play. That's just
okay. Now this is amazing, man. So this is just awesome, man. We all landed on the same place, man. And y'all know how I ran in about the analytics and doing that. And Hugh Freeze was crazy. He defended that play in the press conference. That I don't know.
He used word analytics.
He defended that play, and he was like, "Yeah, it was a good play, great call. It was there. They just, said what you said." And he snapped the ball high. That was his thing. I'm like, man, take the points.
Yeah.
Like you said, you going in and you 13-10 Georgia, you got a different kind of mindset. You like, man, we beating these guys.
Yeah.
So your momentum is different. Your team, is different. When you kick a field goal, it's positive momentum. Then when you miss a fourth down play, it's kind of like a letdown, a deflation. You know what I'm saying? So you going in up, everybody jazz. Okay, you come out the same thing. I'm just saying what y'all saying, but that same third down play where you miss, you know what I'm saying, taking yourself out of field goal range. Now, if you got those 6 points right there, dude, it's a 1-point game.
I mean, actually,
it's a 1-point game at the end of the game, and on that drive, bro, you playing for a field goal.
Yeah,
you call
exactly.
You're not playing. You're not running Martin down the field trying to go, throw it over his head and stuff. You going safe. You trying to just chunk yards down the field. You know what I'm saying? So you're calling the game differently. So I agree with you. If you take the points and he doesn't take that sack, you within one, you going to kick a field goal, bro. We got a clutch field goal kicker.
Even allow you to run the football, just like
yes.
Even if they took those 3 points, 13-10 going to halftime, the defense got to turn over the first play out coming out of halftime.
Yes,
and they scored.
Yes.
So if you bring in, you're talking a 20-10 game early in the third quarter.
I said that's what I was saying the same thing during the game. I was like, man, I'm not gonna get myself blown up like that. But I was saying the same thing though. Go ahead, Mark. You got something?
Nah, I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. Like you take the points, you go down by one, and the strength of your team has been running the ball all night. So with 3 minutes left, they give you a chance to run the ball, manage the clock. You don't have to put Peyton Thorne in position to pass. He ain't even throw for 100 yards. So you can rely on the ground, get in field goal position, and use one of the best kickers in the SEC, if not the best kicker in the SEC.
Hugh Freeze, we just figured out your dilemma, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to check us out. Figure it out. All right, let me ask y'all this. So far this season, who's your best player on offense and defense? Give me one player.
Defense would tie between Jalen Simpson and Eugene Asante.
Yeah, okay. Agreed.
Okay.
Offense.
It's the water boy.
The water.
No, just playing.
You know what? It's kind of hard to stay on offense because you don't know who's going. You don't have nobody you can rely on each game.
Okay.
But if I had to pick overall, I would probably have to go with Fairweather because he's probably been the most sure-handed guy.
Okay.
That we've had. I mean, you could probably throw Jay Fair in there, but they haven't really targeted him for real. When they did target him, it's been kind of few and far between. Like you get targeted, then they wouldn't throw the ball to him for a long time. Then they'll just out of the blue throw the ball to him, something like that. I'd probably go Fairweather. Probably Fairweather.
Okay. What about you, Marcus?
I'm 100% agreeing with Nick on the defensive side. I lean more Asante because of consistency.
Yes. Okay.
But you can't sleep on Jalen Simpson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go offense, Batik, because he shows a lot of great flashes.
You got my pick. That's all.
Yeah, he shows a lot of great flashes. Fairweather, we don't have a quarterback enough to feature his great talent because I think he's top shelf. I think behind Brock Bowers, he should be the second tight end in the SEC, if not the country, with the way he makes catches. Because I think he's top shelf. I think behind Brock Bowers, he should be the second tight end in the SEC, if not the country, with the way he makes catches. Strictly hands away from body, strictly hand strength. The guy's a beast.
So I want a question. So are you saying for this game or for the whole season?
No, for the whole season. So far this season, who would you just kind of pick for offense and defense? Who would be your best player? I would say, man, you're right. It's Asante and Simpson, man. It's close. I'm gonna get Simp though, man, because he got the dance to go along with it. Got the dance, man. So I'm going with Simp, man, and I'm going with Batik. But what I don't understand is, man, why they don't feature these cats? Why they don't have, like the commentator was talking about, having plays that feature players instead of just calling plays? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, get Mati out on the edge, bro, and just throwing something short and let him wiggle. Let him work.
That's what I used to like about Gus Malzahn versus Hugh Freeze, because Gus, he'll highlight a speedster out the backfield, like a Ricardo Lewis. Give him some reverse plays or something, man. Some reverse screens or something. Like, get your speed outside the numbers and see what they can do.
Yeah.
Well, let's be clear.
Oh, he come from the shoot it down, man. Come on.
No, I'm not about it. I'm just gonna be.
We were just having fun. No, here come the principal from the shooters.
We can talk football. Let's be clear. Hugh Freeze,
go ahead.
Hugh Freeze and Gus Malzahn runs the exact same offense. They do. It's just the fact of the personnel. They do.
Okay, I don't think so. I think his. I'm tell you why. I think his passing game is light years ahead of what Gus Malzahn was. They was like his passing routes and stuff. They were predetermined and they were unchangeable.
Well, no,
in the game. Same thing with the offensive line, bro. They was like some of the pass protections and stuff. They were predetermined. That's why a lot of times you would see people running through the line, and you're like, bro, why y'all didn't pick them up?
Hugh Freeze,
a lot of his stuff was like high schoolish, predetermined, and that was it. Hugh Freeze, I think he's a lot more complicated in the pass game.
I'll put it like this: Hugh Freeze wants to run the ball just like Gus Malzahn did. That's, the whole point. They both hurry up, no huddle. They both want to run.
I got you. Okay.
But the thing is, you have to have a quarterback that fits that system in order to run hurry up, no tempo. If Gus Malzahn's on the sideline with this dude, we'll be seeing the same problems.
Seriously?
Problems. Yes, we'll be seeing the same problems. If Gus Malzahn's on the same, we will see the exact same problems.
Okay.
But you will probably see more Robbie Ashford with Gus than you would see Peyton Thorne.
Man. We'll be running the Nick Marshall 2.0 if we had Gus. We might be liking that though, man. We might be liking it. Yeah, we would.
But if Gus was just being hard headed and just wanted to stay with this one guy, Peyton Thorne, you'd be seeing the same problems. Because there's no way they should be called quarterback runs for Peyton Thorne.
Right.
No way at all. No way at all. They should be designed quarterback runs with Peyton Thorne in the game. No way.
But why you say that? It's been successful though.
Listen, the reason why it was successful this game is because if you go back and listen to Kirby at the beginning of the week, they were preparing for Robbie Ashford.
Okay,
they were preparing for Robbie Ashford to come play. But when you don't prepare for a quarterback that you ain't never seen do that before. I mean, of course, you're gonna get a couple of them off. He had one long run to 61 yards. Every other run he had, he was either scrambling, got 10, got a first down here, but he was locked up at the line of scrimmage. Right? Peyton Thorne ain't that dude. He's not a runner. He's good enough. He's good enough when it's unexpected, but when they expect him to do it, they gonna lock that down all day.
All right, come on out the stalls, Mark. I see you trying to come out of the stalls.
Going back to your point with Gus Malzahn and Hugh Freeze kind of being the same, I don't feel that. Like with when Gus Malzahn had Nick Marshall, we knew that he was a DB transferring to quarterback. We knew that he played cornerback at Georgia. Yeah, he played DB at Georgia. Went to a junior college. Then he started playing quarterback.
Yeah, we know.
So like, as a coach, in personnel, you do different things. Like the little wrinkle with the RPO with Nick Marshall used to come out, and then Devontae Adams used to be on a start route and break that cornerback down and make him make a decision. That's genius. You give, like, the thing about it is, I know it's an RPO, but the things that you can put on it to enhance the RPO is what helps the personnel that you're dealing with. Like, all right, since we said that he wouldn't be successful with Peyton Thorne, let's look at what he did with Jared Stidham. I'm not saying that Peyton Thorne is any good as Jared Stidham, Nick. If I know you fly out the rock. That's just making an adjustment with personnel. You know what I'm saying? A pocket quarterback compared to a scrambling quarterback. You just giving your players a chance to succeed. I feel like Gus did better than
so this is why
I agree with that, man. Go ahead.
This is why I'm gonna rebut with what you're saying. You're right. Knowing personnel is better, but Jared Stidham was a better passer, and he still didn't live up to his potential with Gus Malzahn. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you.
He was a game away from the national championship.
Okay. All right. I'll leave that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, we finna go on another subject because it's just like even with Jared Stidham, even with man, we finna go on.
And that offense,
but even with Jarrett Stidham, though, think about this. This is what derailed that season. What's my man name? The running back. Kerryon Johnson got hurt. That was, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what derailed the season more than and could Jarrett Stidham have been coached better? Yes, we agree. But I think that season right there, like he said, man, we was one game away from the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, but that
Kerryon Johnson got hurt.
Yeah, but Jarrett Stidham is not Jarrett Stidham is not an RPO quarterback. Jarrett Stidham is a pro style quarterback.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't work. He the reason why that season worked is because of Kerryon Johnson, because they ran the ball. That is the only reason why that season worked.
But that's Gus Malzahn knowing his personnel. That's all we're saying.
You making my point. You making my point.
It's like Gus Malzahn. What we're saying, and I know is like the point is Gus Malzahn identified so far. He's identified personnel better than Hugh Freeze, and he would put his offense around his personnel versus his scheme. Hugh Freeze seemed like he's more about, I want to run my scheme, and if this is what the defense is doing, we make these calls and all this stuff, which is great. But man, highlight your players, man. Fairweather should be running around how 19 was running around.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? He should be running around finding holes the same way. What are we doing with Fairweather, man? He should be a matchup nightmare. You know what I'm saying? But T should be a matchup nightmare. He should be, you know what I'm saying, running screens and hitting this dude, you know, out in space and letting him work. But it don't seem like we are highlighting our talent. Beautiful. It just seemed like we running plays.
That was beautiful, DC. I agree 100%.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Nick. Nick, you don't like that?
No, you don't like that.
I'm just saying it. I'm like, all right, that's how y'all see it. That's cool. Ain't no problem with it. I don't have nothing to say about it. I mean, y'all make great points.
No, Nick, you be like
you be Brian like
Haskins. Yeah.
Brian Haskins.
Don't do this. Don't do it.
Nick will be 100% on board.
If you say Brian, don't do it, man. Don't start the Brian Hartson thing.
Brian Hartson. Yeah, Brian Hartson. Brian Hartson will, you know, Nick will be 100% on board with everything that's going on, you know.
Okay. All right.
What else? Oh man, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Yeah, we be just having football fantasy fun, and Nick come in and just be like, get us like true facts and be like, dang, bro.
This is how it's gonna be.
Like, we in here jumping on the bed talking about, you know, you got kids be jumping on the bed, your daddy come in the room. And Nick come in. Nick come in and be like, that's not gonna work. And then you back it up with facts, and then you just be looking like this.
Like, Nick, come on, man.
Like, bro, let me dream a little bit. Let me
Nick.
stay in fantasy land a little bit, man. Coming with all the notes and stuff, and you just be like, well, okay, well, I guess that won't work. Let me fantasize about something else. All right, let me ask y'all this, and we'll end on this one, man. Positive takeaways. What's the positive takeaways from this loss, man? What you got on that, man? Mark, what you got positive takeaways from the loss?
We actually have a chance to have an offense.
Okay.
Like, so that's a positive takeaway. Because with Phillip, with the previous 3 games, I was
Dad would look at Dad did like this. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Mark. Go ahead.
No, we good. We good.
No, go ahead.
I just like I like the chance that we actually had a better offense with Cadillac before in these last year rather than these previous games.
Mm-hmm.
So not actually seeing that our offense has something going, generating something to help our defense is a good positive.
Okay. Nick, what's your positive takeaways from this loss?
Positive takeaway is defense, man. I don't trust this offense. I don't trust it at all. I don't trust Payne Thorne. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I don't. I think the defense can keep us in games, but if the offense can find a way to muster and score some points at the end of the game, we have a chance to win. Every game Auburn is in from now on, the only way Auburn wins is if they keep it low scoring. If they keep it below 24 points, they'll win. They have a chance to win. If it starts becoming a shootout, Auburn does not have a chance to win any football game.
I agree.
So no, I don't. I don't believe in this offense. I don't believe. Let me clarify. I don't believe in this offense with Peyton Thorne at quarterback. I don't. Because what Hugh Freeze wants to do is he wants to have a quarterback that is a threat to run but can throw the ball. Peyton Thorne right now is not able to throw the ball accurately enough to keep defenses honest, to give him at least a chance to run the ball without scrambling. Robbie Ashford can run the ball, but it becomes predictable. But Robbie Ashford is not a great passer. Holden Garner is the best passer out of all of them, but he's not athletic enough to run. So I understand why you stay with Thorne, because Thorne is a mix between Robbie Ashford and Holden. He gives you a better chance, but he's not. I don't know if it's confident, or I don't know if it just, to me, it just seems like he's not trusting the receivers to be where they're supposed to be at. He's not throwing the ball to where they need to be, or reading the defense correctly enough in order to throw the ball how the play should be. And it's just not working, because he's literally a mix between the other two quarterbacks. Athletic enough to get you 5 or 6 yards on a run, can throw the ball well enough to be able to keep the defense honest so he can run the ball some. But I just don't trust Peyton Thorne right now, because he's consistently inconsistent. Is how I see Peyton Thorne. So that's how I feel about it. So no, I don't trust.
You said that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's and Drell said the same thing, man.
Yeah, Drell said the same thing. I just had to see it. I had to see it for myself.
Yeah. And I can't believe I'm like sitting up here like finna believe, you know what I'm saying? But I think, man, going forward, positively, I see the offense as a positive. I see both sides, defense as a positive. But I think going forward, man, I think the offense gonna start putting up points. Maybe I'm just being delusional fan. And but I'm looking at the optics of who they played. They played Georgia, bruh. Y'all, bro, we used to be putting up 7 points with Gus on Georgia. How many we scored with Harsin last year? Was it 10? Last year, maybe? Yeah. It's like, bro, we putting up points against Georgia with Hugh Freeze being more active. He did say he was more active in the game plan. With Hugh Freeze being more active in the game plan, and the offense is looking better. So you get the off week, you might kind of look shaky against LSU because that is Death Valley. You know what I'm saying? But going forward, man, I'm looking for big things from the offense going forward.
I'm not.
My man. Come on, Nick.
I'm not at all.
Come on, Nick.
I mean, because we at that time of the season where your team is going to be who your team is unless something drastic happens. And unless one of these 3 quarterbacks, unless Robbie, and the only way I can see this happening is because I call for Holden all the time, just because Holden is a better passer. But what I've noticed is the offensive line is great at run blocking, but they're not that good at pass blocking per se. But my thing is this: so I think Holden would probably be eaten up a lot as well too in a lot of those games when it comes to pass blocking as well. But unless Robbie can at least make defenses be like, hold up, we may have to sit back a little bit because he can actually throw the ball some. If he can do that, which he has not shown he can do yet, if he can do that, then I'll be like, okay, we got a chance. But Thorne is he's inconsistently. I mean, he's consistently inconsistent.
Inconsistent, yeah.
So I can't. I have no faith in this offense. Outside of I no faith in this offense with Peyton Thorne as QB1. That's just how I feel.
Are you saying you down on Peyton Thorne too, Marcus? You down like that on Peyton Thorne?
Kind of, sort of. Me, myself, personally, I agree with Nick. Actually, it's 50-50 with both of you guys.
Okay.
I feel like we have to rely on our defense. We will lean on our defense. But what I took from Saturday is I feel like our offense can put together game-winning drives. We should be able to going forward. And I don't think Peyton Thorne is the guy, to Nick's point. Me, myself, personally, I feel like Robbie Ashford should be the guy. And we should give him an opportunity to at least see what he's like passing the ball. Like,
gotcha.
I don't really see them giving him opportunities to pass the ball. Like, I feel like throw a play action in that for him or something. Like, every time you see him, it's an RPO.
Yeah.
So give him a chance to at least show the world that he can't throw.
Yeah, he showed that last year.
Well,
that's a new year though.
But that's a new. I'm saying that's what you practice all season for. If he can't, if he hasn't built up anything from the off season, he shouldn't be even touching the field. That means he shows no progression. So, you know,
apparently the offensive coach staff don't believe in him throwing the ball like that. I mean, because if he would have made that much progression, I don't think unless Hugh Freeze is like he gonna literally die on his hill with Peyton Thorne, and he talking about, look, if we ain't winning and we ain't winning recruiting battles and we ain't winning by year 3, we all gonna be looking for jobs. He said that. Is he willing to down that hill with Peyton Thorne? If Robbie Ashford was showing them something, Robbie Ashford would be playing more than what he is, and he would not just be in there running RPO plays. He would literally, and not just throwing swing passes to a Petit on the outside. It's really like a long toss sweep pass. Nothing like that. You would literally see him throwing the ball down the field, not against a Sanford, because he threw a nice ball a Sanford for a touchdown to Michael Riley Ducker. But I'm talking about against a Georgia, against a LSU, against a Texas A&M, against an Arkansas, against SEC competition. You would see that. I don't think the coaching staff is confident enough in the passing game for him to do it. I'm just going to be honest with you.
To me, Nick, at this point, it's not about being confident in him to do it. It's about if you're game planning, just the thought of that, knowing that he will even attempt to do it would keep me from probably dropping a person into a box and stacking the box against it.
The thing is,
just the tendency of him doing that.
But the thing is, they're not even going to attempt to do it, because Robbie has shown, even in the Cal game, he kind of like almost throwing a little bit, consistently inconsistent when it comes to passing the ball. He would literally run to his right and throw the ball back across his body into coverage. They're not. Hugh Freeze is not about to get on the field and die by that, especially when he brought Thorne in to be his dude. That's not about to happen.
Yeah, I wonder if some of it is that though. It's just like, okay, I brought this as my guy.
Yeah, that's
because
what
if you got
two
players that's consistently inconsistent, then why not go with the more dynamic player? Both of them are, you know what I'm saying? And it seems like he's enamored with him being a student of the game. That's what it seemed like. He just, okay, he can call and get us in the right plays, protections, and all this stuff. But he was like railing on that, man, saying he missed some open stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like screaming, like, bro, during the game, why can't he identify the hot man, bro? It's like this dude ran up to the stood beside the defensive tackle, man. Okay, bro, he blitzing. He looked at him.
It's still called.
Adjusted nothing, and just snapped the ball and took the sack. I'm like, bro, you looking at the man?
It would make sense. It would make sense to put the more dynamic player in at quarterback to run the offense like that, and that would be Robbie Ashford. It would make sense, but I just feel that there's something that they're seeing in practice, or there's something that they're seeing on a weekly basis where they're like, nah, we can't put Robbie out here like this. We're just gonna keep him in this package. Now, I will say, if Holden was a little bit more athletic, if Holden had Peyton Thorne's athletic, we would see Holden go.
Okay, so why is it different from Holden than Robbie? You saying obviously Robbie showing him in practice something that's not letting him on the field. So obviously Holden got to be showing them something that's keeping him on the sideline as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of Holden. He's not a threat to run the ball. That's how I feel. The other two guys can be a threat. Robbie is a legit threat to run the ball. Peyton Thorne is an unexpected threat to run the ball, and from what I see. But Holden ain't fast. Holden like Peyton Manning running the ball. What?
Take him, man. Come on, ain't nobody like Peyton.
I remember. Hey,
you disrespected that man, Nick. You disrespected that man. Bro, that's just like straight disrespectful, man. That is like.
There was a
bro, that's rough, Nick.
That's
true. Disrespectful
That is
to
true,
say that.
bro.
You said that man like is comparable to Peyton Manning, Nick.
Running, he's comparable. He's compared
Nick,
to Peyton
that is
Manning
disrespectful. That's disrespectful to throwing and his whole family, man.
Not
his
throwing. I didn't say throwing.
Holden Gardner. It's
Holden
disrespectful to Holden, his
ain't
whole
run.
family, his bloodline, DNA. It's disrespectful to
Right.
they dog.
It was
to everybody, bro. To say that
there was a play that Peyton Manning had when he was with the Colts. It was a bootleg. It took him 5 seconds to run 1 yard. Like literally, he play action pass. He come around. Took him 5 seconds to get in his zone. Bro, I was like, "Come on, Peyton, you gotta run a little bit faster than that, dog."
Come on, man. Come on, man. Nick, that's disrespect for the whole.
But honestly, but seriously though, I don't think Holden is a running threat for them in this particular offense because for one, it comes back to the offensive line pass blocking. Because if the offensive line is not good at pass blocking, I mean, he eventually gonna have to find a way to scramble, and Holden's not that athletic to be able to do that. He's more of a pocket quarterback.
Gotcha. So to end this, me and Marcus thinking some hope for the offense. I think it's big hope for the offense. Marcus is measured 50-50 because he kind of agreeing with both of us. Nick, you say the offense just with Peyton throwing trash and you can't depend on them. So y'all come back, tune in. We're gonna see who's wrong on this one, man. As the season progresses, y'all come back and check us out and see who's wrong on this one. Tell them where they can find Nick and Marcus. Y'all tell them where they can find y'all guys, man.
I'm gonna let Marcus tell y'all this time. Go ahead.
What's up, man? Come on, Marcus.
We the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. You can find us at hey, I've been watching Nick. I've been watching the best dude.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, bro. I be like kind of practicing in the mirror because I done just got jaded. I'm like, what's wrong with me? It's the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Why you can't say that?
Hey, Nick make it look so easy though, DC.
Yeah, he do it.
You make it look so effortless.
Get on here and I be calling it the Water Cooler Podcast, the coolest I just be calling it. And I apologize, y'all. It's the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the coolest podcast in your
ear. Tell them, Nick.
How we do this?
Give them the original one. Give them the original one.
How did we do it? Did we do okay?
That was pretty good.
Okay. But give us the original one before we go, Nick.
That was good, man. That was good. We'll be all the applause. All right. Nah, man. It's the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. It's the coolest podcast in your ear, man. We are here every Wednesday, man. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolsPod23. You can email us at wctpod@gmail.com. And as always, man, we will be starting our long form videos, the show that you hear every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast. You'll be able to listen to it on YouTube in the video form. So starting this Wednesday, October 4th, you'll be able to see us. You'll be able to see the video. You'll be able to see the show. Follow us, www.youtube.com/@ the coolest pod 23, or if you're already on YouTube right now, just search us Water Cooler Talk Podcast.
That's what's up, man. And I am DC Wolf, and we are Auburn Addicts. We are at Auburn_Addicts, man, on all the platforms, man. Put us in the rotation. And until then, Eagle.